Hi, I'm Laura Richardson,
And I'm Julia Miller.
and for those of you who don't know us, I'm a life coach, attorney, and mediator.
And I'm a volunteer single adult leader at a large non-denominational church here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, as well as a certified professional life coach, as well as a realtor.
Yes, so
They just keep piling up,
that's right, triple threat. So we're coming to you today. We're going to be talking about a woman's worst nightmare.
Like Laura's worst nightmare.
Yes.
She called me and said she wanted to do this segment, and I was like, okay, I'm curious. What would you define as your worst nightmare? I'd have to think about what mine is, but
Yes.
and we're talking about this in relation to dating.
Just dating
someone.
Yeah, you just meeting someone for the first time. You don't know them at all, and really, what's your what can you encounter that's your worst nightmare? You're like,
What could you encounter that's your
Yes.
worst nightmare? We could go a lot of different directions with that.
Yes, we could. And mine is body odor.
She said it.
Yeah, that's right. I said it.
It's out there.
It's out there. But when a guy has an issue with body odor, I'm not talking about just a guy just coming from a gym. He has to be hustling because he's going to be late. Whatever. Okay, fine. I'm talking about someone who really has.
I don't know.
established
Body odor is
odor.
body odor. I don't care if they're coming from the gym or they've been in the backwoods for 3 weeks. It's all the same. I mean, if you have to hold your breath when somebody walks by, it's just like, oh, hey.
I know. Yeah, it's kind of wakes you up, but that aroma.
Not in a good way.
Yeah, not in a good
That
way.
aroma.
Oh my gosh, I won't go that story. All right. So, so when a guy, you're just meeting has an issue with body odor, and you're sitting there, and you're expecting to order a meal and kind of get through the meal.
And they go, oh, check, please.
Yeah, no.
The plant just all withers up on the table.
Oh my goodness, the waiter's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. They just kind of throw the check on the table and run. I actually remember on Seinfeld, he had to try to get somebody to steal his car because the valet had sat in his car that had BO and he couldn't get it on the seats. And the guy that tries to steal the car doesn't even want it. Yeah. See, Seinfeld thought of this issue too.
That's right, Seinfeld, they know, Jerry.
Yeah. So, but this was a very personal thing to you because you've had a few experiences with this.
Yes, and it sets you up to wonder, what's, is this symptomatic of something else that's going on with this person?
Mm-hmm.
Because usually there's 3 things, that could possibly be going on. One is maybe this is kind of a cultural thing, this is the way they grew up for whatever reason, and this is their idea of hygiene, and that's not going to change. They've always been that way. That's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2 is there something physical that's happened that they're not able to take care of themselves like they used to? Is there something,
Are you talking about a big person?
Well, no, you could just be someone who, maybe temporarily had a medical issue that, for some reason they're just not taking care of themselves.
And they're trying to get out there and date.
Yeah, they're trying to get out there and date. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they're trying.
They need a woman to take care of them. That's what they're thinking.
That's what they're thinking. They're thinking, you know what?
There's a woman out there that that wants to feel needed. Isn't that what you told me?
Yes, yes. And sometimes let me just say that real quick. Sometimes some guys feel
She just has to get this off her chest.
I have to get this
I
off
opened
my
a can
chest.
of worms,
That's right.
but she's already been telling me about this.
Pandora's out of her box, okay? So, but
There's nothing spiritual about what we're talking about.
No.
I did find one scripture.
Uh-oh.
Actually, a few scriptures, but there was, remember with Martha when Jesus went to raise Lazarus from the dead.
Yes.
I forgot his name.
That's okay.
Actually, let me just say this while you're thinking about that.
Okay.
When I was researching this, I was actually going through and I just put in the word stink in my little Bible app.
Mm-hmm.
And when it pulled up scriptures about it, in several different instances, it referred to a bad odor, a stench, a stink, whatever. And it tied it back to sin, which I kind of find interesting that you're trying to scratch beyond the surface. I mean, if it's me and somebody comes by and they've got this body odor thing going on, I'm out, I excuse myself, I'm out. But I think the sleuth in you wants to know what's going on with this person.
Well, if you're going to have to sit through dinner. I shouldn't say have to sit through, but but if you're going to be pleasant and sit through dinner, you might as well, make it as pleasant as you possibly can, and make.
So you
make
actually had
conversation.
a dinner with somebody, and then realized this after sitting there?
Well, I kind of realized it after they sat down for a minute. It wasn't quite as bad as
Had you already
slapped me in the
ordered?
face. Well, I guess I was, he had already
Yeah,
spotted me,
you're
and
not-
so it's like
He knew you.
Yeah, he knew me. So I couldn't say, my name.
And he said, hey.
Yeah, I couldn't say my name's Susan. He knew it was me. Okay. So
You can just call yourself Dolly.
Yeah, no, I can't call myself. But so
Barbie.
yeah, it's like Barbie. But so for me, I just couldn't,
You
I just
couldn't what?
yeah, I couldn't just,
Did you?
yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom, and be gone, and just, slip out the back door. I just couldn't, but we'll get to something.
No,
something else in a second.
I don't want
Anyway.
to talk about that.
So
That
my
was
worst
my
nightmare.
nightmare.
Yeah. I'm sorry. So now I remember what I was going to say.
Okay, you're not here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So my nightmare is, sometimes some guys, they want to feel needed and appreciated. That's fine. Sometimes it's a little bit to the extreme, whereas they filter everything through that lens, and so sometimes they feel like, okay, if she feels like she needs me, if she feels like she needs to kind of clean me up and straighten me out, and to lay out my clothes every day, so to speak, if you get into marriage, relationship, whatever, then sometimes they feel like, okay, I'm giving her a hint that she's needed, and that I need some help, and I'm like, that's
There
not-
are
not-
relationships that happen in, but I'll tell you how that happens. Is usually when we as women do too much. Like if we're the
Mhm.
person that is the aggressor, we're the person that makes the initial first move in a relationship. The man, yes, men like it for a woman to make the first move, but they're being lazy because they're not making. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Yes.
I
Okay,
didn't
well,
hear it.
I didn't
Yeah,
hear that
I'm
then.
sorry. I didn't mean to offend anybody.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at, let me reword that, is that when a woman makes the first move and a guy kind of goes along with it, he's not making the intentional choice to be in a relationship with that woman.
Yeah.
He's kind of going along with it because it's easy. And what ends up happening is the woman ends up doing all, if not, it ends up doing a lot of the giving, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And when she ends up doing a lot of the giving, it's easy for him to be complacent
Mhm.
because he can be.
Yeah.
I mean, why do something if somebody else will do it for you?
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I can see where that pattern would certainly come into place. Whereas if a man is allowed, that opportunity to be the pursuer, he's the one that goes after the woman and starts seeking her out, and he's making the decision to be in a relationship with her, he's a little bit more likely to hold himself together.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just from the patterns that we've seen.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
studying
I agree with
couples and that kind of thing. He's going to, because it's natural for a man to give,
Mhm.
because a man wants to feel appreciated.
Yeah.
And if a man wants to feel appreciated, the only way a woman can appreciate him and express her appreciation for him is if he's doing something.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying one person has to do all the giving and one person does all the taking. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But early on in a relationship, when we're setting this up, we have to be careful as women not to try to reciprocate. Let the man do the giving, say thank you, and be appreciative. I really appreciate you doing this for me. This really means a lot to me. Because a man will continue to want to do things for us if he feels appreciated. And he wants to do that. That makes him feel somewhat in control.
Yeah.
And so that's all I want to say about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where you
I digress. But I mean, to me, it's kind of an important factor. We're trying to sit here and dig as to why somebody would sort of give up on, one of the possible reasons
Yeah.
in making an effort for themselves.
Yes. Yeah. Making that's just it. Making an effort.
For themselves.
Yeah, for themselves. And sometimes for me it falls into 3 categories usually. The first one is culturally this is the way they grew up. This is their idea of hygiene. You're not going to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is, did something medical happen recently where they're not able to really care for themselves, whether that be a temporary thing or it's going to be, this is something that's going to be a physical challenge for them to
Yeah.
physical disability. Or third, is there something going on mentally that they're still not able to take care of themselves?
Well, give me an example of that.
Well, example of that is like, for example, my dad, he passed with dementia. And sometimes I'd be with him all day and he'd be like, Laura, I'm hungry. I just ate. I'm like, no, Dad, you're hungry because you didn't eat, it was 6 hours since you ate. And he's thinking that he's just had a meal. And so, sometimes can it be something that's going on with this person? Maybe he thinks he just took a shower, maybe he thinks he did take a shower that day or today, and that he really didn't. He's really thinking of yesterday or whatever is going on with him mentally. Is there something going on?
Well, how many times do we walk all the way out the door and down the stairs when we realize, oh, I forgot to put the deodorant on. Then you gotta come all the way back up the stairs and search for the deodorant. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and so, but is that something that's kind of systemic and ongoing for them? And so that's, is this a symptom of something else that's going on with this person? So those bells and whistles start going off in my head. Okay.
So what are you suggesting we do about something like this?
Well, you kind of, for me, just be pleasant through a very quick dinner and speak a blessing over them, wish them well, wish them peace and a long life and keep it moving.
But I think, well, okay, but what if this is a friend? Okay, it's a friend of the opposite sex.
Okay.
You're not really dating, you're just sort of hanging out, I guess. You're not ever, there's sort of the assumption between the both of you that it's never going to be a dating relationship, but you guys like hanging out together. Well, how are you going to handle that? Because you're going to continue to see this person because you're friends.
Friends, yeah. And sometimes, we just have to tell our friends the hard things, when we feel like we have favor, when the friendship comes to a point where you feel like you have favor, that you can speak into that person's life and they'll be able to receive it, then I think you just have to say the hard things to your friend and say, hey,
How would you say that?
I would say, I really care about you, and I think this is really something that you need to be aware of, and this is kind of the way that,
Could you just maybe ask if there's something going on with them?
Well, I guess you could.
Is everything okay? I mean,
Yeah.
give it a health check, because I happen to notice that.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't realize it. Maybe there's some body odor. Coming out. I mean,
Going on. Yeah.
I think I mentioned this to you. One of the things I'm conscientious of is somebody's breath. Because you think you've known this person for a while, or maybe you've dated him a few times or whatever, and then all of a sudden you get around him and they have this it's not a food odor, but it is an odor. And I came to realize that sometimes it could be acid reflux, where you get that burning sensation in the back of your throat. I've heard that can cause bad breath. Maybe a dramatic weight change if, like say there's been some fasting. Like I said, for myself, I've done some fasting in my lifetime, and this is kind of embarrassing, but I mean, we're all out as a group of friends, and of course our guy friends came. Well, one of my guy friends went and told one of my girlfriends, "You better give Julia a minute." Well, she knew I had been fasting, and so. I mean, they knew what the reason was, but it's still kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
And you don't have to share this with anybody.
Yeah.
But it made me aware that when I do that I need to make sure. But I think you had mentioned that.
Yeah, whenever I fast, like it's usually the second day, halfway through the second day. I mean, it is just like fire. I mean, I can brush my teeth as much as I want. It's your body detoxing when you're fasting. And it comes from your gut, and I can brush and use Listerine.
Do you think even like tongue scraping wouldn't help?
No, it's coming from my gut. Even sometimes, even when I'm fasting, sometimes I belch a lot too, and I'm like, oh my god, And so I know it's coming from my core.
Yeah.
And so it's just your body detoxing.
Oh.
And which fine, it's a good thing.
I just find that I'm trying not to go to too many social
activities. Usually when I'm fasting, I'm trying to do that over the weekend or something, so I'm not around a whole lot of people.
Because or else you kind of find yourself backing up as they're talking to you, and you're backing up, and they're looking at you funny, like, well, is there something wrong with me? Like, no, I think I need to go, and you're just inching your way backwards.
Either that or constantly I'm constantly popping mint, sometimes it just tastes like the mint on top of the funk that's coming up out of my core.
I've noticed what some people will do is they'll go ahead and pull out their breath mints and they'll get one. And here, you want one?
Yeah.
And they'll just,
That's a sweet way of doing it.
That's the sweet southern way of doing it.
Yes, But yeah, kind of going back to really talking to your friend about it, you just have to kind of say the hard things and say, you know what, this, is there something that, that's going on, is something I can help you with, is it something,
What if they were just to talk, what if you were to talk to a close friend of theirs and say, hey, I noticed there might be some health issues with Sam or whatever his name is, have you noticed that maybe there's a difference going on here? But the thing is you don't know if it's different. You don't know if they've always been that way or if it's just
Yeah, because if it's a new friend, you just, as the mom says, she's a nurse, you don't know what the baseline is. You don't know, what their normal is. And so,
their baseline, body odor.
That's right, yes. Sometimes,
Well, you could start getting them some shower gel. Say, hey, I got, I was over at Bed Bath & Beyond today. Here's some shower gel.
Or
you can make up a whole gift basket of shower gel and deodorant and
all that stuff. Or even sometimes too, some people just need like when I moved to Texas, I had to switch deodorants because back north I didn't quite sweat as much as I do, and so I had to switch to deodorant that had baking soda in it because that's what I needed. That's what it worked the best. So.
This is my pet peeve.
Yeah.
Is because people who know these things, you would think that they would understand that when you come to a warmer climate, we're here in Texas, it's hot. How many of our months out of the year? And even when it's not blazing hot, it's pretty warm. So I have noticed that, it took me a while to figure this out, but just from the years of selling real estate, during the summers, you're sweating so much that it literally pulls your clothes apart at the seams because you're sweating and you're sweating. And so basically you start out, the beginning of your day going along. Of course, you have a shower in the morning, but it's not uncommon to have to come home in the middle of the afternoon, take another shower, and pick up to do the rest of your day. And of course, when you get home, then you got to take another shower before you go to bed. Okay, that's at least 3 showers in one day. And obviously, selling real estate, you're in and out of the car a lot more, you're in the heat a lot more. But here's what would get me is clients that would come in from out of state, a lot of times from up north, I think I have to do some digging to find this out, but they have the assumption that because it's cold up there and they're all bundled up in heavy coats and everything, that they're not sweating or that nobody's going to smell them. So then they come here and you're not all bundled up and yet continue to only take a shower every second or third day. That's not going to fly.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you're trying to talk as quick as you can and here, sign this paper, sign. No, right there, just we'll talk about it later.
It's like,
exactly.
Go to the car.
Call me from the car. Exactly. I just gotta get this over the top of me really quick. But I'm just making the point that if you're changing cultures or climates rather, take notice of what might be necessary. Because I know when I've been on vacation in other places, sometimes the humidity is different.
Yeah.
In Costa Rica, it seems like it rains all the time, so there's a lot of humidity. I can't even get salt out of the salt shaker. So you almost have to be cognizant of the changes.
All right, so Julia, but we were just talking a second ago about, sitting down and actually getting to the dinner. So how was that maybe maybe your worst nightmare?
I know what she's alluding to.
Yeah.
She's alluding. I said, I don't know that I have a nightmare of what I think is a nightmare of a relationship or a nightmare of a date. I've been pretty fortunate. I've had some really good boyfriends. I've had some really great dates. I've had good dating experiences. And that's why I always want to encourage people to get out there and try it, because once you start getting out there and you have some good experiences, it's not going to feel so scary or intimidating. However, that being said, we were laughing about this, and I said, yeah, what I can remember one bad date, and my assumption is that it was one of those scenarios where I would think it was probably an online date, because I think we had somehow discovered that we both graduated the same high school, you know, we're both about the same age, you know, had some things in common. Well, I think we met up at like a Bennigan's, something where, you know, you sit down at a table. It was dinner time, so I just ordered dinner. I mean, we're meeting, and he kind of like, I can't remember what he said, but it almost insinuated like, well, I wasn't planning on doing dinner, and like, well, okay, you know, it's 6 o'clock. I mean, I'm gonna be eating dinner, and he orders drinks, and he's just talking about biking and cycling, and well, you know, I like to give in an extra ride, and I think he drank 2 drinks, and then said, well, you know what, it was nice meeting you. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm not even halfway through my meal. Yeah, I really, you know, I really want to go, you know, I want to catch another, you know, another lap before, you know, the sun goes down. I'm like, okay. I mean, I was raised in an American Italian family. You do not get up from the dinner table until you are finished. Everybody is finished with their meal, and that's the way you talk, is over meals. I mean, that's the way you do community. That's the way you do family. That's the way you communicate. So I was just like thinking, okay, well, that was a little rude, a little hurtful. I was like, you know, I mean, I already was not feeling, you know, the warm fuzzies over this scenario. Get a load of this. I go to get the check from the waiter that had been waiting on me, and he hands me the check, and as I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know, I only had ordered what, $9 meal, you know. It was kind of a long time ago, but Bennigan's wasn't expensive, and I was like, you know, and I'm looking at this bill, and I'm like, this isn't right. And he's like, yeah, the 2 drinks. I was like, oh no, I didn't drink those. He's like, well, that guy didn't pay for them. That guy ditched me and didn't pay for even his own drinks.
So tacky, ghetto, you know,
inappropriate.
Yes. You know, that's just mean-spirited and hateful. You know, that's just horrible. You know, it's like, fuck up. You know,
well,
take off your dress. Fuck up.
I wanted to share this story because I hear women talk about these, you know, their nightmare situations. And here's the thing, is we kind of get, if you have something like that, I would say don't focus on it. Because what you focus on, you're going to attract more of.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, most of the time when I'm in dating scenarios, I talk about how well I've been treated. Because if you know somebody's been treated well, you're going to want to treat them well. But if you find out that they haven't been treated well, you know, and you know, if you have a situation that happens like this once in 10 years or whatever, it's not the end of the world. You just hash it up to experience and be like, I mean, because there's nothing I could have done differently. I mean, I thought I was meeting somebody I went to high school with. And of course, I went to go look them up on the yearbook and, you know, call our common friends or something. Because like, you know what he did? I mean, how tacky. I did call him on the phone though, and I was like, excuse me, do you realize you didn't pay for your drinks? Oh, yes, I did. And I was like, well, according to them, you did not.
And then he's gonna lie about it too. You know, this is
lie about it on top of that. Well, no, and then he got mad about it. That was the crazy thing. He gets mad at me. Well, it's your fault because you ordered dinner. I'm like, it's dinner time. I'm gonna eat. I don't mind buying my own meal if somebody's, you know, got an issue with it. But but anyway, just so funny. So we don't do that. No. We don't do that.
You know me, that kind of feeds into my fear of online.
Yes. You know, I
don't know.
When Laura was backing in tonight, I said, "Oh, I got an idea." I said, "How about we talk about the differences in the online app, and you know, we'll just run an experiment, and we'll, you know, tabulate our results and see how that goes." I think somebody needs to get out of the boat.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk on the water.
No, we're going to say Jesus. Well, you're looking for a man that walks on water, and that one is.
Okay.
Okay. Now we get a bias from her. He's probably sitting there 10 years from now saying, "Now, Laura, what would you do differently?"
Julia, I'm just going to continue to lay here on the couch.
That's right. We're going
right. Yeah.
But quite frankly, it's kind of hard to share these experiences if you're not out living it. You got to be living it.
Yeah.
That's how I was able to teach, a very successful class, is because I've been living it. I'll be honest, I was pretty transparent, shared, some of my little heartbreaks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's just the risk in life, and that is a tragedy, quite frankly, in single life right now. Is people are not getting out and taking a chance. People are afraid of taking the risk, and that's unfortunate.
Well, you hear, that's a big drum with everything. You hear about all the bad stuff, and that's what, the headlines are. And, it just really makes people like me
The bad stuff about online dating?
Yeah, just all the,
well, here's the thing about online dating.
Things to watch out for.
Okay, think about when you were in grade school, and they were going to have, or whatever year that was, that they had the big dance at the school, in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And you're having the big dance in the gym, and everybody's nervous. I wonder if Bobby's going to ask me to dance. And, I think he likes me. And, so all the girls are on one side of the gym, and all the boys are on the other side of the gym, and everybody's kind of checking each other out, and everybody's nervous, and, the music is playing, and nobody wants to be the first one to, get on the floor. It's the same thing. It's just we're all in one big virtual room. We're all in one big room, one big party, and we're sort of feeling our way through it to see who's going to make the first move. And we're just there to meet each other because we're hoping to make a connection with that someone special.
Yeah, we're hoping it's going to be honest.
You know what? The biggest challenge you're going to find online, particularly over 40, with the honesty issue. I know most people think it's people not being honest about being married or single or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not really the case. The biggest issue is people lie about their age. Nobody really likes the idea of getting older. And everybody thinks that they look younger than they really are. But, if I can see the creases in the back of your neck, I know you're not 42. Just saying. Just saying.
Oh my goodness. Well, all right. So I guess we're gonna have to have a follow-up.
Yeah, wink, wink.
We're not sure when, but I guess
Yeah.
I guess
well, that's going to take some time to do that
Yeah.
research. Next week, did you want to announce what we're going to do next week?
Yes, next week we're going to be talking about transparency.
And what that looks like.
Yes, and what that looks like, and my experience with manspeak. Learning what that is.
See, she throws out these things that I just I don't know where they come from.
Manspeak. I'm going to have to tell you that example next week.
So you're not going to tell us what manspeak is?
No, you're going to have to tune
you
in
have to
next week.
Tune in to find out what the definition of manspeak is.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know what it is. So
right.
this will be new for me too.
Yeah.
But I was just going to talk about the transparency because I noticed when I started, the opposite of transparency is really manipulation.
Yeah.
And over the generations, through the centuries, it's been taught to us as women about manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't even realize we do it because it's so ingrained in our culture. But we're really to a point where women don't have to do that anymore. Because we have our own careers, we have our own, we've become to a point of being pretty financially independent.
Yeah.
That our identity isn't tied up in just meeting someone to be married to and staying home and taking care of kids. Not that that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying that's not our only option anymore.
Yeah.
And so we have the freedom, the opportunity to become more transparent. And so I think that's what we're going to cover next week. And it's not a scary thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just an attempt to be honest with ourselves and be honest with the person that we're choosing to come into a relationship with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it really pays off big in the end.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
But you have to try it. It takes some practice.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it more next week.
Yes. So thank you for joining us.
Thank
Hope
you
you
so
have a
much.
good time, and we will see you next week.